Okay, guys, thank you so much again for joining on. We're gonna go ahead and get started with our training tonight on how to qualify leads. So tonight I'm gonna go over three topics, working with buyers, sellers, and renters. So I have three different scripts that I use when it comes down to working with buyers, sellers, and renters. I'm just gonna go through them really quickly, and any questions that you guys have, just wait towards the end so I can go ahead and answer those for you. Cool. All right, let me go ahead and share my screen. So I asked the people here, what should I get started with? So guys, mute yourself. Mute yourself. No, no. Let me, hold on. Mute. Hold on. No. Let me mute you guys real quick. I think because I should share my screen already. Okay. I'm gonna mute you all real quick. You guys already being bad. Class just started.
You don't have to be approved to come in, right?
Yeah. That's okay. Just do it.
When you cut it, when you want to cut it back on.
Cool. You're gonna broke my computer. All right, let me go ahead and share my screen again, guys. We're gonna get started. So we're gonna get started off with the buyers. So right now, guys, it's a hot market. Buyers are everywhere. You look left, there's a buyer. You look right, there's a buyer. But there's not a lot. There's not a lot of homes. So we want to make sure we're not wasting time with these buyers. We want to make sure that they're qualified, that they're educated when it comes down to this market, and that we're providing them with the best service. So very simple. When it comes down to buyers, guys, I have a script that I use, and it's called the LP Mama. I don't know if you guys ever heard of LP Mama before, but I really like it because it's very simple to remember when speaking to a buyer and making sure you're asking the right questions. So before I even begin, let me kind of give you like the psychology, what goes behind my mind when I think about helping a potential client or a potential lead. I see it as like being a doctor. When you go to the doctor, and you tell the doctor you're sick or you're not feeling well, what's the first thing that the doctor do? Ask you questions. How you feeling? How long you been feeling that way? What else? Yada yada yada. They're just trying to figure out, what are your symptoms? How long you been feeling that way? Asking you these questions and why? Because they want to make sure that they prescribe you and diagnose you with the best possible outcome. It's the same thing you're doing for these clients as well too, because you're not going to talk to a seller the same way you're talking to a renter. You're not going to ask them, the same questions. There's different questions because they have a different need. So whenever it comes down to working with clients, that's how you got to look at it from that approach. So what the LP Mama does, it's kind of like help you remember with these acronyms what to go ahead and ask your buyers. So let's jump right into it. L stands for location. P is price. M is motivation. A is agent. M is mortgage, and the other A is appointment. So already off rip, when the buyer calls me, I'm looking to buy a house, or hey, got your number from such and such. I want to buy a house. I get straight. I'm like, okay, you gotta give them the oh, nice speaking to you. Yes, awesome. Yes, I can help you. Such and such. What are you looking for? What area are you looking to live in? And then you want to find out why is that important to them. I feel like this part is very key because you want to find out, why. How far do you want to commute? So you want to go ahead and ask all these questions that pertain to, location. Uh, do you have kids? That's what you want to find out some information about them. Like, why do you want to move to that location? Do you want to be near a particular store? Like, where do you like to go? You like going to the movies? So that way, you find them the best location for them. And then in there as well, you're asking question about what type of house they're looking for. Are you looking for a townhouse, single family? What are your needs? What are your wants for a house? What can you live with? What can you live without? What's a must? So you're finding out all those key details. How many bedrooms? How many baths? So you want to make sure you're identifying the client so that way you can serve them best. Because if you're not identifying the needs of the client, how you expect to serve them? So that's on the L part. That's what questions you're asking. And then automatically from there, I already know on the top of my head, after I'm asking them what they're looking for, the location and all that stuff, I'm going straight into price. Like, what's your budget for your new home? How much money are you looking to invest in your new home? I know a lot of people, they forget to ask or they don't want to ask, all that stuff, or I don't know how much it will cost. You need to know. You need to know, like, so that way you can direct them in the right direction, or even find out if they're realistic. Because in this market, Believe it or not, like back then, $300,000, $250,000 was just enough money. You could find a house. Now, good luck trying to find a house at that price. That's like almost what? Impossible. You can't find that anywhere. So, and then also as well too, you can educate the buyer. Let's say they want to buy a certain budget. They want to buy for, 300,000 and core gables. You're like, what? Like it's a tough market. And also in this, what I'm doing with a lot of my buyers in this market, I'm educating and letting them know, look, this is a very aggressive market. Just letting you know as well too. Like if you qualify for 500, let's go ahead and try to find something probably like 10 or $20,000 below, just because in case we have to, not have to, but it's a fact. We might have to pay over, over the asking price, because that's what people are doing. And letting them know, hey, do you have some extra cash on the side as well too? So that way you can go ahead and, pay above appraisal if we have to. So in that part, I'm just letting them know, what's your budget? Because right there, the budget is very important. You have to establish a budget, because a lot of people, they'll drive you left, right. You're in Hialeah 1 minute, next minute you're in Orlando. So again, we talk about saving gas. Gas ain't cheap. So you want to make sure you're playing your part on that part and finding out what is their budget, how much they could afford, so you're not running around like crazy. One of my favorite parts as well too is the motivation, like motivation for everything. Just like how you guys are in the business of real estate. What got you into the business? Why are you in this business? What's driving you? Why are you here? Why do you want to make money in this business? Why not go somewhere else? You got to find out, why is the client looking to purchase a new home today? And there's several different ways you can ask them, what do you look, what has you in the market today? Are you looking to upsize, downsize? And another question that I love asking, how long you been looking? So I know I need, that way I can find out, how long they've been, how they feeling right now, asking that question, because that's very important. And also I love this question too. Have you seen anything you like? I like this question because I get to find out if they're crazy or not. Because you have those people where they found something that they told you, oh, I fell in love with this property, they had everything, this is my dream house, blah, blah, blah. Like, okay, why didn't you buy it? Yeah, I didn't qualify for it. So that way, that way you know what it for, and that way you're not wasting your time. Because if somebody tells me you found something that you're in love with and you didn't buy it, why? What are you doing? Are you wasting time? I need to know. I need to know if they're crazy or front. Because if you're talking to a crazy girl, you need to know so you know to run, right? So I ask them up front, what's going on? And then this one is important as well too, like finding out if they're working with an agent. Because a lot of people, especially in this market, man, they probably got like 12 agents. They probably got like an entire lifestyle branch working for them. No, we're smart at lifestyle, but they probably got an entire, real estate age company working for them. So you want to find out, how have you been searching for homes? Well, we're in a times where a lot of people are looking online. So they might even be searching on Zillow.com, Realtor.com online, looking at these homes. So you want to find out, have they been inside any homes? If so, how they got in? And if they are working with a realtor, you want to find out how committed they are to that realtor. So you want to ask them, okay, if when I find properties that you like, do you want me to send them to you, or you want me to send you to that agent? And also, did they sign an agreement with that agent? Because the last thing you want to do is work so hard for a client, show them, 20, 30 properties, and find out that, oh, you're not getting a commission because they have an agreement with a realtor and that other realtor showed them that property. So you want to be upfront with the client. I let them know, hey, look, I don't want to step on anybody's toes. Are you working with an agent? But another way I like asking them, how have you been searching for homes? And, have you been inside any homes? You want to find that out. That will save you a lot of headaches. And then as well too, there's clients I took and they had an agent that they weren't committed to. So don't let that turn you down. Sometimes as long as they didn't sign anything, if they see your work ethics and you're working hard as well too, you can win them over. Plenty of times that happened to me. And then the mortgage part, guys. So when I first got started, I was afraid, ask people like, okay, let me just show them the house, because I don't want to ask them, like if they're financing or paying cash. And after I'm done showing them the house, then I would go ahead and ask them. But man, especially in this market, you want to save time. I need to know, like, how do you plan on purchasing this new home? If I need to find out, even if you could even purchase a new home, like, what's your plan? Are you, and I say, are you looking to purchase with cash or financing? Because that way I'm not offending anybody, you know, I don't know. You never know, the person might be balling and just have a bunch of money in the bank. Or sometimes, you don't know. So you ask them both ways. Are you looking to finance or are you looking to pay cash? Also, have you spoken to anybody about financing? Has anybody taken the time to talk to you about financing? And that role right there plays into having a great team, having a great lender by your side. You know, we have the in-house mortgage company and everything. So you guys want to make sure you have your mortgage lender already on deck, ready to go, because we're in a fast market. So you want to be fast. You want to have everybody on side. I tell my clients, don't worry about anything. I have the entire process from A through Z. But if you do have your own people already, I don't mind. Just let me get their contact info. I'll go ahead and talk to them because when it comes down to purchasing a home, everybody has to be on the same page. I want to do a phenomenal job for you. I know I'm going to do a phenomenal job for you. I just want to make sure that I'm on the same page, whether it's your lender, your title company, everybody's on the same page. And also just letting them know that they're gonna need, pre-approval. So anyway, to start viewing homes. Because most agents now these days, that's, hey, do you have pre-approval? Or now they're asking DUs. DUs are a very common thing. Now, do you have a DU? They don't want to waste time as well either. And then in this very competitive market, you don't want to waste time. And if they're purchasing cash, proof of funds. Let me see your proof of funds. Got it? So the last step is, setting an appointment for what's next. So this process is kind of like different depending on the buyer for me. If they're a new person and, they haven't purchased a home before, I just go ahead and take the time to either like meet in person or a video call to break down the home buying process to them. Because at the end of the day, your goal should be to provide as much value as possible to the client. If they're an investor or whatnot, if I can meet them, at a Starbucks or whatnot for coffee, let's sit down, get to find out, more of your needs, such and such. But if they're ready to go, I'm not wasting no time. Like, let's go. Let me just, if you need a mortgage lender, let's connect you to my mortgage lender. Let's go. Let's make it happen. But the next step is always like getting together somehow, some way, whether the person Zooms will make it easy to connect and get the ball rolling. So that's it on this side right here, guys, for the buyers. I'm gonna go ahead and take questions pertaining to buyers and working with buyers. If you guys have any questions, if not, I can go ahead and jump into the next one. So what questions you guys have so far? You could go ahead and unmute yourself. Oh, let me see. I don't see it. Oh, I do see it. Hold on. I think Jada muted you guys all the way. I think they do have the option. They can unmute themselves. You cut it off?
And now allow them.
Okay, guys, you can unmute yourself now. Jada didn't want you guys to talk at all. See? So be mad at her, not me. Dominique over there smiling. So what questions you guys have? Are we all good? Give me a thumbs up or something, guys. I'm here to make sure you guys got it and grasp it. I don't know. I was splitting a lot of stuff, so I just want to make sure we're on the same page. Dominique, since you got your camera on time, we all good? You're good? Yeah, bueno? Okay, claro. Let's go. That's right. Yeah, my Spanish on point. You guys sleep. Yeah, see. All right, okay, guys. We're just gonna go ahead and keep it moving. Let me go ahead and make sure that you guys. No, I'm gonna let them unmute themselves. It's fine. All right, if you have a question, just raise your hand. I'm gonna go ahead and take that option off. Okay. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and jump into sellers. It's all about the listings, especially in this market. Listings are king. If you could get listings, you'll get buyers, 100% guaranteed, because they have to come to you. It's like owning a shoe store, you have the inventory. If you run out of shoes, you got there to sell. So you have to go to a different store. But hey, you want to make sure you're the one who has all the shoes in the game. Okay, so jumping into it. So that you have somebody who want to go ahead and sell a house. You're talking with the person. I don't know how you found them. Is it referral, expired, whatever. I always make sure that I ask these questions up front, or if I'm meeting them in the listing appointment, I pull out the sheet. Once we're sitting down before we run comps and everything, before, I show them the comps and everything, I'm asking them these questions because I feel like this is a great set of questions. Lifestyle gave this probably like 3 years ago, and I'm still using this to this day, and it never did me wrong. So I guarantee if you guys, use this or use some of the questions in here, you're gonna do great. So the first question is, when did you first start thinking about selling your home? I'm just curious, how long has this been in your mind? What's going on? Like, I want to know if they're serious. 'Cause oh, 2 years ago, but they never did it. How come? Like you always want to find out like the motivation. The motivation is key because the motivation is what's going to drive them, and you want to use that. Because sometimes you've been in deals with people where they're motivated to go ahead and do something, and then all of a sudden they lose motivation. It sucks. But so always find out the motivation so that way you can go ahead and drive them. How long you lived in your present home. Oh, and also as well too, guys, I always do a lot of research on the seller before, sitting down with them as well. So some of the details I can find out, and I like to sound smart. So I let them know, yeah, I see you've been here, but I want to ask them as well. What was your original purchase price? So ask them this, just qualifying them because you want to qualify. What improvements have you made to your present home? Like, what have you done? Like, did you upgrade the kitchen? If you bought the home, 30 years ago and you haven't changed anything, I could imagine like, how does the inside of the house look? What work have you done? Because condition plays a role as well too. So I want to know, what have you done? What have you changed? Are you keeping the property up to date? Just to get an idea of like what the property looks like if I haven't seen it already. So that way I know. If there was one thing you can change about your present home, what would it be? I want to find out, like what's going, like if you could change anything, like most people are saying their home is perfect, it has everything, this, and I want to find out, like, like, you want it. That's a great question. I feel like that's an amazing question because everybody has a perfect home. So Mr. Perfect Home or Mrs. Perfect Home, what would you change? Just to find out, so that I can go from there, just to show them like, hey, be realistic. Your home looks good, but it's not the perfect home. How much do you owe? Like if they have a mortgage, you want to find out that as well too. Maybe they want to net a certain amount. And this is big, like, how did you get that price? I always ask them, I want to sell for $1 million. Okay, great. How did you get $1 million? Tell me, sir. Oh, I've seen it on Zillow. Oh, I just think, my house is the best house on the block. Okay, I tell them, all right, no problem. But at least I just want to know. I still haven't heard, yeah, I did my own CMA on the MLS. I haven't heard that one yet. I'm waiting for that one. I heard all type of crazy stuff. Where would you like to move? Like, where you going? After you sell this place, where you going? Especially in this market, I want to know where they're going. Because most people, once they sell their home, they're cashing out with the big bag of money. But where you going? I want to find out. When would you like to be in your new home if you're buying something else? Because that's that question, they might want to buy another house. And you want to go ahead and be that agent for that house as well, too. When would you like to be in your new home? Where, if I can help you out? And this is, out of the entire sheet, this is one of my favorite questions because now I know how to drive them. What is most important to you? Price, timing, or convenience? If they tell me price, then I let them know, hey, look, if we go ahead and price this house at the maximum price that it can be after looking at the CMA, and one thing on my CMA, guys, I never give them a set price. I always give them a range because the last thing that I don't want the client coming back to me and saying, oh, you told me to price it right here and it's not selling. I tell them, look, this is the CMA, this is the range right here. And where do you want to go ahead and price? But I kind of give them like a more realistic price, range, and let them go ahead and choose from there. So if they tell me price, I tell them, okay, look, we're going ahead and price it at the max. This is the max, that, we'll price it at. But what if we sit on the market a little bit? Are you okay with that? Because, obviously timing is not a big deal for you. So you're okay with sitting a little bit longer just so that way you can go ahead and get the maximum, timing. If they tell me timing, then I'm like, okay. So timing is important too. So you're trying to get there as soon as possible. So maybe it might be a great idea to go ahead and underprice the property just a little bit. So that way we can go ahead and get you where you want to be. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to sit here, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months or even a year, right? Because that was going to mess with your plans. So, and then convenience. So you want this to be a smooth, easy process, no headaches. Kind of like, I feel like that's like a combination of both timing and price. So we want to be just in the right place. So make it smooth, make it easy, no headache, and all that stuff. So that's one of my favorite questions when it comes down to the script. what would it do to your plans if it did not sell? So I feel like a lot of people might be scared. At first, I used to be really scared to ask that question because I don't want them to ask me like, dang, so you're not gonna sell my house? You're not gonna make it happen? No, I am, but hey, I gotta be realistic as well too. Like, what if we don't sell? Like, what are you gonna do? You know, what are your plans? Where are you gonna go? Like, you know, like, well, I could wait, or I can't afford not to sell. I need to sell. So kind of let's like reminding them like, okay, let's be realistic on this. Let's make it happen. Let's go ahead and so that way we're not, you know, outrageous with the price or so we can go ahead and sell. But you have to be, this is one of the questions when you ask that, you have to be confident on it. Because if you're not confident, you're shaking like, oh, what if we don't sell? They're gonna look at you like, boy, get out my house. You know, so you gotta be confident on that one when you ask that one. Who else have you talked with about the sale of your present home? I need to know, like, have you spoken to any other agents? Have you who's in your ear? You know, like who's influencing you? Who have you spoke to? That way I need to know if I need to, you know, like talk to another decision maker or you've been talking to another agent. I need to make sure I have the sell in the bag. And then also as well too, do you need the proceeds from this sell to close on your new one? You need to find out because that way now you have to structure the deal a little bit different. Because if they need the money from this house to buy the other one, now you know you have to get this one under contract, and we have to close on this one first, so that way we can get the money and make the closing of the new home like nearby. It's very easy, but if it's better to know upfront than rather than close on this. Oh yeah, we need the money from this one, so you need to make sure find out, ask that question, so that way you know you can do everything in a timely manner, so that we can make it a real smooth process for them. And then I asked them, this is another confident question. This is not for the weak. I repeat, this is not for the weak. What would it take to begin marketing your home with me today? And I look at them dead in the face if I'm in person, if I didn't get a chance to ask them these questions over the phone. What would it take for me to begin marketing your home today? And why I love this question, because it hits like any objection up front. Like I need to find out, well, I need to talk to my, you know, wife. You shouldn't have been meeting them anyways without all decision makers present, but at least you know, I need to talk to my grandpa or whoever they need to talk to. Well, I need to know this. I need to know how much money I'm gonna walk away with. Now you know throughout your presentation or whatever, you can go ahead and hit that rebuttal right away up front. So that way you can handle their main objection. And that's it right there on the seller side. I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys be able to unmute yourselves as well. So if you have any question, what questions you have when it comes down to sellers, so you go ahead and ask. So guys, what questions do you have when it comes down to sellers? You can unmute yourself if you have, but if you just love hearing my beautiful voice, I can keep on going and you guys can just keep on smiling. Where's Dominique at? Dominique, I need a thumbs up. What's up? We good? Sonia, we good? All right, perfect. I got a thumbs up. All right, perfect. All right. You guys are some smart cookies, man. I need to do a training with all you guys all day. Okay. So
You're doing great. You're doing great. I'm driving, but I'm here. Okay.
Thank
I
you.
cannot put my camera on because I'm driving. Okay.
No problem. No
But
problem.
I love your speech. Really good. I
All
like
right.
your motivation. Thank
Perfect.
you.
Thank you. You're welcome. I like you unmuting yourself. I like that. Okay. Let's go. All right. Let's keep going. All right, guys. So I got one more. I got one more for you guys, and that is the rentals. Oh, my screen's all over the place now. Sorry. I'm going to X this out. What is it doing? Okay. So guys, lastly, we have how to go ahead and qualify your rentals. This one is a very easy one, especially in this market as well. Rentals are hot. I never thought we'd be in a market where like rentals are, you know, hosting open houses, and we're doing open houses for rentals. They post a rental at 2,000. The next time you turn your computer back on, the rental's at 3,000. You're like, hold on, what's going on? Like, if you put the price at this price, it's supposed to decrease, not increase. Yeah, that's just the type of market that we're in. But you can make a lot of money from rentals as well too. As we can see, the price of rent is just going up. You know, the $5,000 rentals, $8,000 rentals, they're getting easier and easier, guys. And I see a lot of people from our office are killing it on Facebook Marketplace, killing it on Zillow. So this is especially if you're new, this is a great way for you to go ahead and just put money in your pocket right away and while you work on, acquiring some sales. So let me just jump into the rental part as well too with the questions, so that way you guys can go ahead and know what to do. So I will start off again, guys. Like, what is your time frame? How soon you're looking to move? Because rentals, I need to know if you're looking to move like in the next month, 2 months, right away. I know we get a lot of people in Miami, oh, ASAP, like tomorrow. I'm like, dude, I can't move you in tomorrow. I'm gonna need some time, especially if there's an association. We're gonna need some time, baby. We're gonna need at least like two weeks or something, especially in this crazy market. So I want to make sure that they have a realistic time frame. Nah, hey, I'm getting kicked out of my place today. I need a place tomorrow. Like, look, give me some time. I might make it happen. I mean, may not, but I just need to let you know the way if there's an association, all that stuff. So I kind of like educate them up front. And then as well, too, guys, going back again, as you can see, constant motivation. What's causing you to move? It's the same. Now, the motivation is the same thing in all these scripts. You want to find out what's causing them to move. So I want to know, like, are you getting evicted? If you're getting evicted, oh, baby, I can't help you. The eviction is a no-no on the next place too. So then from there, who will be on the lease with you? You want to find out like how many people they're gonna put on the lease, because anybody that's over 18, they have to be on that lease. And then basic questions: what kind of property you're interested in? Townhouse, apartment, condo, single family, villa. How many bedroom and bath do you need? I let them know. Not one, do you need? Like, let's be realistic, because now in these days you can't get a 5-bedroom house for 1,200 bucks a month. That don't exist. It don't exist no more. Rents are going up. What is your monthly budget? I want to find out how much you're looking to spend. And then I feel like the ending questions are very important, because a lot of people, this is how landlords are looking at people. You got to think about, what if you're a landlord? What would you expect from your tenant? And a lot of landlords, especially now in this market, they don't, with the COVID and all that stuff happening, when people weren't paying rent, they want to make sure they're finding people that have good income. So most places used to do two and a half times the income for rent. Now they're looking for people to make 3 times, sometimes even more. But usually I kind of set them on 3 times. Are you making at least 3 times the rent? Because look, let's be real. You have to pay your rent. You have to, buy groceries. You might have an emergency, go to the hospital and stuff. So you have to spend money. So at the end of the day, is there money there left for you to go ahead and pay that rent? And that's what the landlord's looking. They're looking for a good, strong tenant, someone who can be there, hold it down. Of course, they want a long-term tenant. Who doesn't want a long-term tenant? But those are the gist of it. Also, first, last month in security, man. A lot of these places, I know before they probably was doing 2 months or whatever, but now mainly what I'm seeing is they want that first, last security. Like, no ands, if, or but. Like, if somebody don't have that, it's hard for me to kind of work with them, because I don't want to sell them a dream, especially in this market where properties are moving quick and there's multiple tenants submitting offers. Like, like they want that first, last security. I see you, Wendy. I'm gonna go ahead and get to you. Raising your hand. And I asked him, would that be an issue to you? Do you have the money now? Do you have it available? Do you have documentation showing that you have that money, income? You want to go ahead and qualify them. Like, do you have pay stubs, bank statements, all that stuff up front? I kind of, especially if they were referred to me, like I asked for that stuff up front, and then the background, the credit score, the eviction. I check that stuff, man. 'Cause I don't want, last thing I want to do is show a bunch of apartments and places to people and then find out you have a bad background, or you have an eviction. I don't discriminate against them, but I just let them know, hey, look, I'm gonna send you a link to Rent Spree. It's very affordable. It's only $30. It's not a hard pull on your credit. It's just gonna go ahead and give you an accurate where you stand, as far as like your background, eviction, and credit. So that way I'm not wasting your time, or you're not wasting my time. I'm very upfront. I'm very real, because I don't like wasting people time, and I don't want to waste my time as well too. So credit now these days are tough, especially with certain places they have strict credit requirements. Usually some places, as long as they're willing to put an extra deposit down, they'll go ahead and take them. But if there's a lot of people interested in the property, they're looking for somebody with at least a great credit score. It don't have to be 700. No, there is communities out there that want 700 credit scores, but I'm sure you'll find a place where you'll be able to get them, but at least a decent credit score, so that way you can be able to help them and not going crazy looking at 1,000 places. So the rental part is very easy. So now I'm gonna be taking questions on, sellers, buyers, renters, whatever you have. I'm gonna go ahead and unmute you guys. Give me a second. I'm gonna give you the ability to unmute yourselves now for questions. Alrighty, guys, you can unmute yourself. I know Wendy, you had a question, so you're able to unmute yourself and go ahead and ask a question.
Hello, how are you? Thank you for the information. One question, do you think a marketplace is a good place to find for buying?
For buying, yeah, some people got sales off of there as well too. I heard it all. Buyers, I mean, it don't hurt. People are looking all over, especially in this tough market. I imagine, like with some buyers, they can't find anything and they see somebody post something on Facebook and it's for purchase. Yeah, it's still a good place for buying and rentals as well too. Yes, you get rentals a lot faster, but there is people who get those deals off of posting properties for sale on the marketplace as well. Did that answer your question? Are you good? Let me stop sharing. Oh, sorry. Let me stop recording.